In the grand chamber of the Galactic Council, representatives from many star systems gathered under a massive dome. Bright lights illuminated their faces, casting shadows on the polished floor. The air was filled with tension as they prepared to discuss the latest news about humanity. Most council members leaned back in their chairs, confident that humans were no real threat. "Let's be clear," said Councillor Lothar, a tall, blue-skinned alien with sharp features. "Humans are still primitive. They lack the technology to challenge us. Their ships are slow and outdated." A murmur of agreement echoed through the chamber. However, one council member, a cautious being named Mira, raised her hand. "I have received reports of unusual activity from human colonies. We should not ignore them." Her voice trembled slightly, but her eyes sparkled with determination. "Come on, Mira!" Councillor Zarek scoffed. His green skin glistened under the lights. "You worry too much. What could they possibly do? They are scattered and weak." Laughter rippled through the room. Mira frowned but kept her composure. "What about the last time we underestimated them? Their resilience is impressive." The council dismissed her concerns, eager to move on. As they continued discussing trade routes and resource allocations, a sudden alarm blared through the chamber. The council members jumped in their seats, their chatter silenced. A holographic screen flickered to life, displaying a distress signal from a human colony. "What is this?" Councillor Lothar demanded, his earlier confidence wavering. "Why are we receiving a human distress call?" A technician hurriedly worked at a console, tapping keys with urgency. "It's a colony on the edge of the Orion sector. They report strange ships in their vicinity. They fear an attack." The council members exchanged glances, their confidence faltering. The thought of human colonies being attacked stirred unease in the room. "Shouldn't we send help?" Mira suggested, her heart racing. "If they are under threat, we must act. Ignoring this could be dangerous." Zarek waved his hand dismissively. "Why should we care about humans? They can handle themselves. Let them fight their own battles." Mira's frustration boiled over. "This is not just about them. If those ships are a real threat, it could lead to conflict. We should investigate." The council's discussion grew heated. Some members agreed with Mira, but others sided with Zarek, laughing off the threat. Tensions rose as the debate continued, but the majority ruled. They decided to send a small scout ship to gather more information, just to satisfy Mira. As the council dismissed the meeting, Mira felt a knot in her stomach. She sensed a storm brewing. If they ignored the signs, it might cost them dearly. She watched as the council members left, their laughter echoing down the halls, a stark contrast to her unease. Meanwhile, on the outskirts of the human colony, a hidden fleet lay in wait. These ships were advanced and equipped with the latest technology, far beyond what the council believed. Humans had been preparing, knowing that the council's arrogance would eventually lead to their downfall. The fleet commander, a seasoned veteran named Captain Jenna, stood on the bridge of her flagship, observing the stars through the viewport. "We have been ready for this moment," she said, determination shining in her eyes. "The council thinks they can ignore us. They will soon learn their mistake." As her crew moved swiftly around her, she felt a surge of pride. Humans had hidden their strength for too long. Now it was time to reveal their true power. Back in the council chamber, laughter faded, but the seed of doubt had been planted. The council members might feel secure, but they were blind to the danger lurking in the shadows. And soon, they would understand that underestimating humanity was a mistake they could not afford to make. The stage was set, and the universe held its breath, waiting for the clash between the Galactic Council and the hidden strength of humanity. The next day, the Galactic Council gathered again, tension hanging in the air like a thick fog. Councillor Lothar, still shaken by the distress signal, called the meeting to order. "We need to discuss the situation with the human colony," he said, his voice firm but laced with uncertainty. Mira, sitting quietly in the corner, felt a spark of hope. Maybe today the council would take the threat seriously. "I think we should send a larger fleet to investigate," she suggested, leaning forward. "We need to know what we are dealing with." Zarek rolled his eyes, clearly unimpressed. "And waste more resources on humans? They're just crying wolf. We shouldn't give them any more attention." Before Mira could respond, a technician rushed into the chamber, panting and clearly agitated. "Excuse me, councilors! I have urgent news!" All eyes turned to the technician, who quickly activated the holographic screen. A detailed map of the Orion sector appeared, showing the location of the human colony. Red dots blinked ominously on the screen, marking areas of interest. "What is this?" Lothar asked, eyebrows raised. The technician pointed to the map. "We've detected several ships approaching the colony. They're not human. They seem to be a mix of different designs, and they're moving quickly. We believe they are preparing for an attack." Gasps filled the chamber, and the atmosphere shifted dramatically. "How can this be?" Zarek shouted, his bravado fading. "Who are these ships?" Mira's heart raced. This was the moment she had feared. "We need to act now. We should send our fleet to protect the humans." Lothar nodded slowly, his mind racing. "Yes, we can't ignore this. If those ships are hostile, it could escalate quickly." He turned to the technician. "Can we get more information on the ships?" The technician worked frantically at the console, tapping keys with urgency. "I'm analyzing their energy signatures now. They're definitely not from our known systems. This is strange." As the technician spoke, Mira's thoughts turned to the hidden fleet she suspected humans had. Could this be their chance to reveal their true strength? If the Council underestimated the threat, they might find themselves in deeper trouble than they realized. The screen flickered, and a new image appeared. It showed the approaching ships in stunning detail. They were sleek and menacing, equipped with weapons that glimmered like stars in the dark. "This is bad," Zarek said, his earlier confidence now a distant memory. "If these ships attack, the humans won't stand a chance without our help." "Exactly," Mira exclaimed. "We can't let them face this alone. They are still our allies, despite what we think." Lothar took a deep breath, weighing the options. "All right, let's send a fleet to support the humans. We cannot let them be wiped out." "Prepare the ships for immediate launch!" As the council members mobilized, Mira felt a sense of urgency wash over her. She knew that time was of the essence. If they delayed, it could mean disaster for the humans. Meanwhile, aboard the flagship of the hidden human fleet, Captain Jenna watched the incoming data with a fierce determination. Her crew was ready, and she could sense the tension in the air. "These ships are coming for our colony," she said, her voice steady. "We've trained for this moment. Let's show them what humans can do." Her crew responded with a roar of approval, adrenaline pumping through their veins. Jenna turned to her first officer. "Prepare the fleet for engagement. We will not let them take our home." As the human ships powered up, the Galactic Council fleet moved toward the colony, their hearts heavy with the weight of their decision. They were heading into the unknown, unsure of what awaited them. Mira sat quietly in the council ship, her mind racing. She knew the council's decision was too late to save the colony from the looming threat. But perhaps they could still turn the tide and prove that humans were not to be underestimated. As the two fleets hurtled toward one another, the stage was set for a showdown. The council's eyes were finally opened, but would it be enough to change the course of history? Captain Jenna stood on the bridge of her flagship, the Starfire, staring at the holographic display in front of her. The flickering lights illuminated her determined face as she surveyed her fleet. Each ship was sleek and powerful, armed with the latest technology that humanity had kept hidden for so long. "Status report!" she commanded, her voice echoing through the command center. The crew, focused and alert, immediately began to relay information. "Captain," said her first officer, Alex, pointing at the display, "our fleet consists of 20 advanced FTL ships, all ready for combat. We've completed final checks on weapons and shields. Morale is high among the crew." Jenna nodded, feeling a surge of pride. "Good. We need to make a statement today. The Galactic Council may not believe in us, but we will show them our strength." As they prepared for battle, the crew moved with precision. Engineers checked the engines, technicians loaded ammunition, and pilots ran through their final drills. Jenna watched each member of her team, knowing that today was not just about saving the colony, it was about proving that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. "Communications, get me in touch with the colony leader," Jenna ordered. A moment later, a holographic image of a worried man appeared before her. "Captain Jenna! Thank the stars you're here," he exclaimed, relief flooding his face. "We don't know how much time we have. Those ships are getting closer." "I understand, and we are ready to engage," Jenna replied firmly. "Stay safe and keep everyone sheltered. We will defend the colony at all costs." As the conversation ended, Jenna turned to her crew. "We need to move. Let's show those ships what humanity can do. Prepare to jump to FTL in 5, 4, 3. The crew counted down with her, excitement and tension building in the air. 2, 1, engage! With a flash, the The Starfire and her fleet surged forward into faster-than-light travel, stars stretching into lines as they raced toward the colony. Jenna felt a mix of fear and anticipation. This was it. This was their moment. As they exited FTL, the sight before them was breathtaking and terrifying. The enemy ships were massive, their dark hulls looming ominously against the backdrop of space. Jenna's heart raced as she took in the sight. "Bring us into formation!" she shouted, adrenaline coursing through her veins. "We won't let them intimidate us." The crew sprang into action, aligning the ships into a tight defensive formation. Jenna could see the Council fleet approaching from a distance. They were close, but the humans would engage first. "Let's give them a warm welcome," she said, her voice steady. "Target their lead ship and prepare to fire on my mark." As the enemy ships moved closer, Jenna studied their maneuvers. They seemed confident, almost overconfident, and she smiled at the thought. They were about to learn a valuable lesson about humanity. "Now!" she commanded, and her fleet opened fire, bright beams of energy shooting from their weapons. The enemy ships were caught off guard, and explosions lit up the dark space. "Excellent shot!" Alex shouted as the first enemy ship was hit, its shields flaring under the assault. "Stay focused!" Jenna urged. "We need to keep the pressure on them. They can't regroup. Let's show the Council that we are more than just a weak race." The battle escalated, chaos erupting in the vastness of space. Jenna maneuvered her ship with skill, dodging incoming fire and returning shots. The humans fought with passion and determination, proving their worth with every strike. As the fighting raged on, Jenna's mind turned to the Council. They had underestimated humanity for too long. Today, they would witness the true strength of the human spirit. With each explosion and every hit, Jenna felt a sense of pride swell within her. They were not just fighting for their colony, they were fighting for their place in the galaxy, and they would not back down. The tension in space was electric as the two fleets faced off. Captain Jenna stood at the helm of the Starfire, her heart pounding in rhythm with the chaos unfolding around her. Bright flashes of energy lit up the void, marking the beginning of a battle that would change everything. "Enemy ships are moving in!" Alex shouted from his station, his eyes glued to the screens. The crew was busy, each member focused on their tasks, preparing for the fight ahead. "Target their lead ship," Jenna commanded. "Fire at will!" The crew responded in unison. Energy beams shot from the Starfire and her fleet, streaking through space toward the enemy ships. The first strike hit its mark, and the lead enemy ship erupted in a brilliant explosion. Cheers erupted on the bridge, but Jenna kept her focus. "Don't celebrate yet. Stay sharp," she reminded them. The enemy fleet was regrouping, and they wouldn't be down for long. Across the battlefield, the Galactic Council fleet approached, their ships moving cautiously. Counselor Lothar watched in shock as the humans engaged the enemy with surprising ferocity. He had thought humanity was weak, but now he saw a different side of them, one filled with determination and skill. "Look at their tactics!" Lothar exclaimed, turning to his fellow counselors. "They're working together like a well-oiled machine. Can they hold their ground?" Zarek asked, worry creeping into his voice. Before Lothar could answer, the Council fleet received a transmission. It was Jenna. "This is Captain Jenna of the Starfire. We are engaged in battle with unknown enemy ships. We request your immediate support." The Council members exchanged worried glances. They had expected to find the humans struggling, but now they faced a daunting decision. Should they join the fight or hold back? Meanwhile, the battle raged on. Jenna maneuvered her ship through the chaos, dodging enemy fire while returning shots. The energy beams danced through space, lighting up the darkness like fireworks. "Two enemy ships closing in from the left," Alex warned. Jenna quickly adjusted the ship's course, steering the Starfire away from danger. "Prepare to flank them," she ordered. The crew worked quickly, their training kicking in as they executed her commands flawlessly. Jenna felt a surge of pride as they moved into position. The humans were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting to prove their worth. She could feel the determination in the air, a collective will to show the galaxy what humanity could achieve. Suddenly, a loud alarm blared through the ship. "Shields at 70%, a technician yelled. "We're taking heavy fire! Divert power from non-essential systems," Jenna shouted. "We need to keep our shields up!" The crew scrambled to follow her orders, their hands moving quickly over the controls. Jenna felt the ship shudder as another enemy blast hit the shields. She clenched her fists, determination hardening her resolve. "Return fire! Focus on that ship!" she commanded, pointing at a nearby enemy vessel. The crew responded immediately, unleashing a barrage of energy beams. The ship exploded in a fiery display, sending debris spinning into space. "Nice shot!" Alex shouted, excitement in his voice. But the victory was short-lived. More enemy ships were closing in, and the tide of battle began to shift. The humans needed support, and they needed it fast. "Galactic Council Fleet, are you receiving this?" Jenna transmitted again, her voice steady despite the chaos. "We could really use your help." Back on the Council ships, members were debating their next move. They could no longer ignore the fact that the humans were holding their own against a much larger force. "Should we assist them?" Mira urged, her eyes filled with determination. "If we wait any longer, it may be too late." Lothar nodded slowly. "We must help. We can't let them fall. Prepare the fleet to engage." As the Council fleet finally turned to join the fray, Jenna's heart soared. She knew this was their moment to shine together. With the Council's support, they could turn the tide of the battle. "Let's finish this," Jenna yelled, rallying her crew. With renewed strength and unity, the human fleet surged forward, ready to fight side by side with the Galactic Council. The stage was set for an epic confrontation, and the galaxy would never be the same. The battle raged on, with flashes of light cutting through the darkness of space. Captain Jenna stood on the bridge of the Starfire, heart racing as her crew fought fiercely alongside the Galactic Council fleet. Together, they were pushing back against the enemy ships, determined to protect the human colony and prove their strength. "Focus fire on that ship," Jenna commanded, pointing to a large enemy vessel that had been causing havoc. The crew sprang into action, targeting the ship with coordinated precision. Energy beams shot forth, striking the enemy's shields and causing them to flicker. "Shields are failing," Alex reported, his voice tense with excitement. "One more hit should do it. Let's give it everything we've got," Jenna shouted. The crew released a final barrage, and the enemy ship exploded in a brilliant flash, sending debris spiraling into space. Cheers erupted on the bridge, but Jenna knew they couldn't relax just yet. "Keep your eyes open! There are still more ships out there," she reminded them, scanning the battlefield for any signs of danger. The fight was far from over, and the enemy was regrouping. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council fleet had found their rhythm. Lothar, filled with newfound respect for the humans, directed his ships alongside Jenna's. "We can do this together! Let's finish what we started," he yelled, rallying his crew. As the two fleets pressed forward, the tide of battle began to shift. The enemy ships, once confident, were now on the defensive. Jenna felt a surge of hope. This was their chance to turn the tables. "Enemy reinforcements detected," a technician shouted. The tension in the room escalated as more enemy ships appeared on the sensors. Jenna's heart sank. They had to act quickly. "Prepare to flank them from both sides," she ordered. "We need to cut them off." The Starfire and the Council ships moved into position, a well-coordinated maneuver that left the enemy exposed. Jenna watched with bated breath as they unleashed their firepower, taking down ship after ship. With every enemy vessel that fell, the morale of the humans soared. They were fighting not just for survival, but for respect and recognition. Jenna could feel the weight of their efforts. This battle would change how the galaxy viewed humanity. Suddenly, a transmission crackled through the ship's comms. It was a frantic call from the colony leader. "Captain Jenna, we're still under attack! Please hurry! We're on our way!" Jenna replied, determination flooding her voice. "Stay strong!" The human fleet pushed forward, cutting through the remaining enemy ships with a fierce resolve. Finally, with one last push, the enemy was in retreat. Jenna felt a wave of relief wash over her as she watched the remaining ships scatter into the vastness of space. "Victory is ours," she shouted, pumping her fist in the air. Cheers erupted on the bridge, and the crew exchanged triumphant glances. They had done it together against all odds. As the dust settled, the Starfire and the Council ships moved toward the colony, where the remaining colonists emerged from their shelters, eyes wide with disbelief. The sight of the two fleets together marked a turning point for humanity. Counselor Lothar stepped forward to address the colony. "Today we witness the true strength of humanity. You fought bravely and you have earned our respect." Mira stood beside Lothar, her heart swelling with pride. "We will support you, and together we can forge a new alliance. This is just the beginning." Jenna stepped forward, her voice steady. "Thank you for your support. We are stronger together. No longer will we be underestimated. Humanity has a place in this galaxy. The colonists erupted in cheers, hope flooding the air. This battle had shown them that they were not alone, that they had allies who would stand by them. As the celebration continued, Jenna looked around at her crew and the council members, a sense of unity washing over her. They had faced a great challenge, but they had emerged victorious. The balance of power had shifted, and with it, the perception of humanity in the galaxy. The battle had not only saved the colony, but had also opened new doors for cooperation and understanding. Jenna knew this was the start of a new era, one where humanity could stand shoulder to shoulder with the Galactic Council. With hope and determination in their hearts, they looked toward the future, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, together.